Episode 67, Multiverses. Good evening, I am Tomas Guevara, and this is the channel Rewriting Realities. Please subscribe to this channel to be aware of the advances of the science community and the shift in consciousness that we are going through. For more than 5 years I have been following the diverse theories about what consciousness is, about the state of the universe, and the quantum physics theories. The theoretical physics that I admire most are Michio Kaku, born January 24, 1947. He is famous for his major field, theoretical physics, and is a co-founder of string theory. On October 6, 2023, I watched a wonderful video in which he explained that we are the most advanced and intricate quantum mechanics device. That one flower can do calculations that our most advanced quantum computer cannot. That the universe is not an illusion nor a simulation, and that the multiverse is real. Something I have explained in many simple ways. The second is Sean Carroll, born October 5, 1966, he is from the California Institute of Technology. Also, he is a theoretical physicist, specializing in quantum mechanics, gravitation, cosmology, statistical mechanics, and foundations of physics, with occasional dabbling elsewhere. Sean can walk you through the history of quantum discoveries, from Einstein and Bohr to the present day, guiding you through the most intriguing subject in science and explaining his own favorite theories along the way. He also is a follower of the multiverse theory. And the third is Neil deGrasse Tyson, born on October 5, 1958, he is an American astrophysicist, author, and science communicator. Tyson studied at Harvard University, the University of Texas at Austin, and Columbia University. From 1991 to 1994, he was a postdoctoral research associate at Princeton University. In 1994, he joined the Hayden Planetarium as a staff scientist and the Princeton faculty as a visiting research scientist and lecturer. In 1996, he became director of the planetarium and oversaw its $210 million reconstruction project, which was completed in 2000. Since 1996, he has been the director of the Hayden Planetarium at the Rose Center for Earth and Space in New York City. The center is part of the American Museum of Natural History, where Tyson founded the Department of Astrophysics in 1997 and has been a research associate in the department since 2003. From Michio Kaku's book, Parallels Worlds, I learned that in Buddhism, there is no God at all, but a timeless universe with no beginning or end. Then, I learned that there were two types of cosmologies in religion, the first based on a single moment when God created the universe, the second based on the idea that the universe always was and always will be, and these couldn't both be right. Also, I began to find that these common themes cut across many other cultures. In Chinese mythology, for example, in the beginning, there was the cosmic egg. The infant god Pan-Ku resided for almost an eternity inside the egg, which floated on a formless sea of chaos. When it finally hatched, Pan-Ku grew enormously, over 10 feet per day, so the top half of the eggshell became the sky, and the bottom half became the earth. After 18,000 years, he died to give birth to our world, his blood became the rivers, his eyes the sun and moon, and his voice the thunder. In many ways, the Pan-Ku myth mirrors a theme found in many other religions and ancient mythologies, that the universe sprang into existence created from nothing. In Greek mythology, the universe started off in a state of chaos, a word that comes from the Greek word meaning abyss. This featureless void is often described as an ocean, as in Babylonian and Japanese mythology. This theme is found in ancient Egyptian mythology, where the sun god Ra emerged from a floating egg. In Polynesian mythology, the cosmic egg is replaced by a coconut shell. The Mayans believed in a variation of this story, in which the universe is born but eventually dies after 5,000 years, only to be resurrected again and again to repeat the unending cycle of birth and destruction. These creations from nothing stand in marked contrast to the cosmology according to Buddhism and certain forms of Hinduism. In these mythologies, the universe is timeless, with no beginning or end. There are many levels of existence, but the highest is nirvana, which is eternal and can be attained only by the purest meditation. These mythologies stand in marked contradiction to each other, with no apparent resolution between them. They are mutually exclusive, either the universe had a beginning, or it didn't. There is, apparently, no middle ground. Today, however, a resolution seems to be emerging from an entirely new direction, the world of science, as the result of a new generation of powerful scientific instruments soaring through outer space. Ancient mythology relied upon the wisdom of storytellers to expound on the origins of our world. Today, scientists are unleashing a battery of space satellites, lasers, gravity wave detectors, interferometers, high-speed supercomputers, and the internet, in the process revolutionizing our understanding of the universe and giving us the most compelling description yet of its creation. What is gradually emerging from the data is a grand synthesis of these two opposing mythologies. Perhaps, scientists speculate, Genesis occurs repeatedly in a timeless ocean of nirvana. In this new picture, our universe may be compared to a bubble floating in a much larger ocean, with new bubbles forming all the time. According to this theory, universes, like bubbles forming in boiling water, are in continual creation, floating in a much larger arena, the nirvana of 11-dimensional hyperspace. A growing number of physicists suggest that our universe did indeed spring forth from a fiery cataclysm, the Big Bang, but that it also coexists in an eternal ocean of other universes. If we are right, Big Bangs are taking place even as you watch this video. Physicists and astronomers around the world are now speculating about what these parallel worlds may look like, what laws they may obey, how they are born, and how they may eventually die. Perhaps these parallel worlds are barren, without the basic ingredients of life. Or perhaps they look just like our universe, separated by a single quantum event that made these universes diverge from ours. And a few physicists are speculating that perhaps one day, if life becomes untenable in our present universe as it ages and grows cold, we may be forced to leave it and escape to another universe. The engine driving these new theories is the massive flood of data that is pouring from our space satellites as they photograph remnants of creation itself. Remarkably, scientists are now zeroing in on what happened a mere 380,000 years after the Big Bang, when the afterglow of creation first filled the universe. Perhaps the most compelling picture of this radiation from creation is coming from a new instrument called the WMAP, Wilkinson Microwave Anisotropy Probe, named after pioneering cosmologist David Wilkinson and launched in 2001. It has given scientists, with unprecedented precision, a detailed picture of the early universe when it was a mere 380,000 years old. The colossal energy left over from the original fireball that gave birth to stars and galaxies has been circulating our universe for billions of years. Today, it has finally been captured on film in exquisite detail by the WMAP satellite, yielding a map never seen before, a photo of the sky showing with breathtaking detail the microwave radiation created by the Big Bang itself, what has been called the echo of creation by Time magazine. Never again will astronomers look at the sky in the same way. The reason the WMAP satellite can give us unprecedented pictures of the infant universe is that the night sky is like a time machine. Because light travels at a finite speed, the stars we see at night are seen as they once were, not as they are today. It takes a little over a second for light from the moon to reach Earth, so when we gaze at the moon, we see it as it was a second earlier. It takes about 8 minutes for light to travel from the sun to Earth. Likewise, many of the familiar stars we see in the heavens are so distant that it takes from 10 to 100 years for their light to reach our eyes. A light year is roughly 6 trillion miles, or the distance light travels in a year. Light from distant galaxies may be hundreds of millions to billions of light years away. As a result, they represent fossil light, some emitted even before the rise of the dinosaurs. Some of the farthest objects we can see with our telescopes are called quasars, huge galactic engines generating unbelievable amounts of power near the edge of the visible universe, which can lie up to 12 to 13 billion light-years from Earth. And now, the WMAP satellite has detected radiation emitted even before that, from the original fireball that created the universe. Now the WMAP satellite has given us the precise measurement of the age of the universe with an astonishing 1% accuracy, 13.7 billion years. To the unaided eye, the WMAP map of the sky looks rather uninteresting. It is just a collection of random dots. However, this collection of dots has driven some astronomers almost to tears, for they represent fluctuations or irregularities in the original, fiery cataclysm of the Big Bang shortly after the universe was created. These tiny fluctuations are like seeds that have since expanded enormously as the universe itself exploded outward. Today, these tiny seeds have blossomed into the galactic clusters and galaxies we see lighting up the heavens. In other words, our own Milky Way galaxy and all the galactic clusters we see around us were once one of these tiny fluctuations. By measuring the distribution of these fluctuations, we see the origin of the galactic clusters, like dots painted on the cosmic tapestry that hangs over the night sky. Today, the volume of astronomical data is outpacing scientists' theories. I would argue that we are entering a golden age of cosmology. As impressive as the WMAP satellite is, it will likely be dwarfed by the Planck satellite, which the Europeans launched in 2007. The Planck will give astronomers even more detailed pictures of this microwave background radiation. Cosmology today is finally coming of age, emerging from the shadows of science after languishing for years in a morass of speculation and wild conjecture. Historically, cosmologists have suffered from a slightly unsavory reputation. The passion with which they proposed grandiose theories of the universe was matched only by the stunning poverty of their data. As Nobel laureate Lev Landau used to quip, cosmologists are often in error but never in doubt. The sciences have an adage: there's speculation, then there's more speculation, and then there's cosmology. The above mentioned is the state of science as today, which is a little inaccurate. As I have explained, I was born on October 12, 1952, I am contemporaneous with these three famous scientists. I don't have a title like them, but I understand what each of them is trying to explain to everyone. The difference is that I remember who I am, they still need to remember. I have more than 20 years' experience in what most people call paranormal events, with my aunt who was a medium from 1957 until she died on February 11, 2002. They have no experience on this subject of paranormal events, or so it seems. In one of my episodes, I explained that when we decided to be born here and in other dimensions, we did it at once. It is like the explosion of our Christmas fireworks, each spark being a different life in a different time framework. Covering not only this dimension but others as well, according to our desires and intents. But first, we created the planets and their respective galaxies in the same way. This knowledge is intrinsic and engraved in our memory and genes. From this action came the name the Big Bang. That means that we existed before the so-called Big Bangs, but most people think that it's the reverse, that some entity created everything, and then from nothing we were born. Michio Kaku explained that we have discovered thousands of subparticles after the discovery of the atom. I said that we created all particles and subparticles, even the stream of waves, and then we discovered them. It's an ongoing process that is not going to stop until we recognize that we created everything using our perceptions mechanism. I explained this mechanism in episodes 5 and 6 in May 2023. In the meantime, they are expending millions of dollars in nonsense experiments to find out God's particle. There is a theory called the Higgs boson, sometimes called the Higgs particle, is an elementary particle in the standard model of particle physics. Produced by the quantum excitation of the Higgs field, one of the fields in particle physics theory. In the standard model, the Higgs particle is a massive scalar boson with zero spin, even positive parity, no electric charge, and no color that couples to interact with mass. It is also very unstable, decaying into other particles almost immediately upon generation. Here let me explain that this so-called Higgs particle is made of millions of links of consciousness. But our sciences don't yet know what consciousness is. I have explained it in episodes 4, 17, 18, 19, 21, 23, 24, 27, 29, 43, 49, 50, and 51, and regretfully nobody is paying attention because it is very simple. We don't believe in simple answers. In philosophy, Occam's razor is also spelled Occam's razor or Occam's razor, Latin, novacula Occami, is the problem-solving principle that recommends searching for explanations constructed with the smallest possible set of elements. It is also known as the principle of parsimony or the law of parsimony. Here also applies some famous essays from Sherlock Holmes like, "There is nothing more deceptive than an obvious fact." And probably the best known, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Here I will ask you all, if you know a scientist, please share this video with him or her. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel.